Hi everyone. The book that I brought you today, Poor Economics. What an extraordinary book. It's not an ordinary book. I would rather emphatically say extraordinary book. Well, what is Poor Economics? Two authors, Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, both of them are a couple, and they won Nobel Prize in the year 2019. They have written this book way back about 12 years before, and it speaks about why poor remain poor, what we can do as individuals, and what the government can do as an establishment. In the world, the total population is almost about 8 billion. That's roughly about 800 crore. And 1 billion people, they live below the poverty line. And it is our responsibility, the 7 billion people's responsibility, as well as government's responsibility, to ensure these poor people, they come out of their poverty. So Abhijit and Esther, they being economists, they tried up with a lot of institutions and local governments and national governments. They studied extensively poor societies and poor regions, and they have learned the reasons why certain SOPs, or rather certain schemes, they don't work, what we can do to make those schemes workable. I think we all have to consider ourselves lucky if you have got piped water in our home, and if you have a bed net or mosquito net if it is required in our home, and if we have vaccinated, right, and if we have more than $2 of money every day, you and I can consider ourselves very lucky. Do you know, as I said, nearly 1 billion people, they don't have these basic amenities. No good water, mosquito-fested rooms and locality, vaccination is not there, and go on, the lack of job opportunities. But then governments and NGOs and people, we come out with a lot of schemes. But these schemes are not effective. Why these schemes are not effective, or how to make these schemes effective, that is what exactly this Abhijit and his wife Esther has identified here. They are being researchers, and they are from MIT. They are professors from MIT. They have done a lot of researches. For example, let's say countries like India, Indonesia, Philippines, and African countries, where a lot of people, they die, children particularly, they die out of malaria. And it is a simple preventable disease. If you have bed nets, if you can offer bed nets or mosquito nets to these people, this malaria disease can be reduced, and the death can be reduced. But then, being poor, how many of them can afford to buy this net? And they have done some amount of research. So they have identified giving free, totally free, to giving a full priced product. They found a midway where you give at a price where poor can afford. At the same time, they don't disregard because you are not giving for free. So there are few economics. This is what they call poor economics. And these two people with others, these economists, they have conducted certain tests. And then in the test, they found that there are few things are, quite effective. So similarly, education, how important it is. People all, people who are doing good, they know the value of education. But poor people, it is not that they don't know the value of education, but they don't have the means. And here, these two authors even speak about the corruption, the politician, and how they corrupt the entire system, even subsidies. These authors have examined, they kept a team of people, and they examined different places. For example, there is a place called Jaipur and Udaipur, where they went to schools, and to their utter surprise, the government schools where most of the time the teachers are not available. Similarly, the healthcare center. healthcare center in a country, in a society play a very vital role. But in a healthcare center, the people they administer the vaccination, they were absent. So these poor people, they always find it very difficult to come out of these kinds of maladies. For example, if they have to vaccinate, for example, a poor lady working in a different place, and she has to carry the child maybe for several kilometers to go to the health center, and where that lady finds that the health care worker is not available, and that is fact, and she has to come all the way. So second time, this lady thinks twice to go, because the infrastructure and the establishments are not supporting. So this child suffers. For example, diseases like measles, the children are prone to this if they are not vaccinated. Plus, of course, there are so many diseases. So education, pure water. See, water, where the authors have mentioned so beautifully, piped water is always chlorinated. But then, poor people, those who do not have pipe access, the water wherein you have to chlorinate. So chlorine is a very cheap product, but many poor people, they don't know this chlorinated water is going to give them a healthy life. It saves you from diarrhea. So these kinds of small things, but the impacts are big. For example, this author has mentioned somewhere, these authors have mentioned somewhere, if poor people can be propagated, can be told, if they are told about the benefits of children studying and the benefit of income, the benefit of their old age, in the sense the parents' old age, where the children are learned, they can take care of their children. So this Poor Economics is a fabulous book. It's quite touching, and it also makes you responsible that you, the out of the 7-8 billion population, we are part of that 7 billion population. We have all the facilities what we are talking about, yet we have our own responsibility in bringing these poor people from their misery. In one of my earlier reviews, I reviewed Amartya Sen, the argumentative Indian book. Here again, Amartya Sen speaks about the miseries of the poor, why poor are becoming poor, the reasons, why government schemes fail, what can be done by the government to improve, to enhance the life of the poor. Incidentally, Amartya Sen and Abhijit, they know each other. Abhijit has quoted quite a lot about Amartya Sen. So this is a fabulous book, written so well. If you get a chance, you must read this book. If you have not subscribed this channel, I would request you to subscribe this channel. Please press the like button, and thank you for your support.